Hey guys, Ruckus Gaming here, coming at you with another episode of Tuesday Tips and Tricks. Today is the final installment of the Potion Tier List series. We're going to finish off with the final 10 potions, the rare potions. So, without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. First up, we have the Cultist Potion, which gives you the ritual buff, which gives you 1 strength on every turn. This does not give you strength on the turn you drink it, but you will get 1 strength on your next turn, another strength on the next turn after that, and so on. Personally, for the decks that I like to make, I love this potion. If I was just doing it on the happy chemicals that my wizard brain makes, it would definitely be S, but I think we're going to put this at the top of A tier. Obviously, this potion does not do much for decks that don't worry about scaling their strength. For example, poison decks, many defect orb decks, etc. But it is nice that it scales throughout the fight, and the longer a fight takes, the better it gets. That also means that you may have a deck that kills too quickly for this to be very helpful. Infinite decks, things like Corruption Dead Branch decks, which can have very long turns, any defect decks that do energy and draw shenanigans, defect draw discard, silent discard draw decks, etc. So it's not universally useful for all decks, but when you do have a deck that uses strength to do its killing, then you are going to be very happy with this potion. Love saving it for tough fights in the future. Next up, we have an Tropic Brew, which gives you full potion belt of random potions. However many slots you have open, it will fill. So better on lower ascension when you have more potion slots. But again, I would love to put it a little bit higher for my own personal enjoyment, but I think the random nature and the limited ability to use this at higher ascensions, if you've already got potions that you're saving, it's really hard to get anything more than maybe just 1 potion out of it, which is fun, but very random. So I'll throw that squarely in the middle of B tier. Fun, but not always the most useful. Next up, we have Fairy in a Bottle, which will revive you back from the dead once and give you 30% of your max HP. I'm going to put this in the bottom of B tier. I think that it is nice insurance, but if you're really relying on this to win, you may be in a very bad spot. A lot of times you use this and you end up dying again quickly anyway. It's especially weak to enemies that multi-attack. If the first attack kills you, you'll be revived at 30% HP, and then it will continue to hit you again. So it can often end up not even saving you if it is a multi-attacking boss or enemy. It's nice to have. A lot of times you just keep it and don't use it. Every once in a while you can lean on it. You can choose not to block one very large hit when you are at low HP, the Dark Echo of the Heart, for instance. You can essentially soak and use that last bit of HP as kind of a buffer stack or something similar, and then just go back to 30%. But overall, I would say it's not always as good as you hope it will be. Next up, we have Fruit Juice, which gives you plus 5 max HP. That is going into C tier. Very ho-hum. I think max HP is not a very high indicator of run winning or losing. You can get lots of HP and win, or you can lose lots of HP and win. You only need 1 HP to win. You don't need lots of HP to win. It makes your rests at campsites a little bit bigger. I don't even think it's like 1 or 2 HP. It really doesn't matter that much. It's a nice little bonus. You're not mad about it, but you'll probably drink it as quickly as possible just to get rid of it and free your potion slot up for something better. That's about as much as it is. Next up, we have Smoke Bomb, which will end the combat immediately and you will advance to the next floor, but you will receive no rewards. And for that, it goes straight to D tier. I used to think that this was a nice insurance potion, but I think it's even worse than the fairy in a bottle. You are probably going to use it on a tough combat, which is probably an elite, which means you will be missing out on a relic, you'll be missing out on better rare card chances, and it is very likely that you'll die soon anyway. So you're better off just trying to get the rewards from each combat than skipping them. Wish I could sell this for money at the shop, because I almost always just throw this away or skip if I don't have the space for it. I'm not going to make room for it. Next up, we have Neko Oil, which will draw 5 and then randomize the cost of cards in your hand for the rest of the combat. I have to say, I've never had a great experience with this. I'm probably biased, but I'm dropping this at the bottom of D tier as well. This is a potion that I will just not pick up. I have a hard time finding what it would be useful. Maybe if you know what is left in the draw pile. It's a very small draw pile. You can see 5 cards or less are left, so you know what you're getting. And they're all very high cost cards, or the cards in your hand are already very high cost. But most of the time, when Sneko is good, it's because you've been able to build around it. You've been able to really seek out high cost cards and avoid 0 cost cards, you know, not taking claws, things like that. And if your deck isn't built with that idea in mind of reducing high cost cards through the random Sneko confusion, then it's probably just going to have an average worsening effect. It's going to make your 1 cost cards more expensive, and I don't think there's a high chance of you getting very much out of this unless a couple very specific conditions are met. And I don't think you're going to hit that condition very often, so I'm throwing it at the bottom of D tier. But maybe let me know if I'm completely wrong. If I don't know what I'm talking about, please teach me. Next up, we have the first of our character exclusive potions, and it is the defect potion, Essence of Darkness. This will channel 1 darkness orb for every orb slot that you have, filled or unfilled. And I'm going to put this in A. It's a very strong potion. I love darkness orbs, especially if you can let them build up a little bit. Having more orb slots makes it even better. You get more out of it. This scales as you scale. It works with focus scaling higher as well, so it can make a big difference. It can work great in AoE fights with multi-enemies, or it can work great single target damage if you are able to just let them build up a couple turns. It really adds up quickly. Next up is the Ironclad exclusive, Heart of Iron. This gives you 6 stacks of the metallicized buff. And as an Ironclad fan, I gotta say, it's very ho-hum. C-tier potion for me. I think when you look at the other characters' exclusive potions, they try to lean into what the character does best. And I don't think the thing that pops into my mind when I first think of Ironclad is metallicize. I would love to see some kind of strength scaling, some kind of attack boost, maybe giving multi-attacks, doubling something, I don't know. But I don't think 6 stacks of metallicize is it for a rare character exclusive potion. Very underwhelming, and only really good in a small number of circumstances. Next up, we have the silent exclusive, which is Ghost in a Jar, which gives you 1 stack of intangible. S tier potion. That's how you do it. You take one of the most iconic silent abilities in Wraith form, and you scale it down just a little bit. You take away the drawback of losing dex. 1 turn of intangible can be incredibly useful. It can be great for taking out one big hit of damage or making a multi-attack easy to block with just a little block instead of taking 3 times 15 or 5 times 15. Taking 1 times 15, much easier to block. So, great potion to have. Love to sit on it, save it for an important combat where you know that you may have trouble with consistent block, and having this can absolutely save you. And finally, we have the Watcher exclusive potion, Ambrosia. I'm going to throw this in S tier as well. I think the divinity status, tripling your damage, giving you 3 energy, is absolutely insane. Hugely overpowered. The only other card that I can think of that even has the idea of tripling something on it is the Catalyst. And tripling your poison is obviously very broken for the silent. So tripling your damage, which is already very high for the Watcher, giving more energy when you've got a big attack, you've got a multi-attack in hand, you've got some strength scaling, this will be an absolute combat ender. You can finish a boss in 1 turn quite easily with this potion. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope it was helpful and informative. This is the final installment of this series, and we're going to get back to some achievement style videos. I'm thinking about doing the Who Needs a Relic achievement next. I know a lot of people tend to struggle with that one. They have a hard time figuring out how to get all the way to the end without picking any relics. So I would probably think that that's what's coming up next. But if you want to see another achievement, maybe some of the character exclusive ones, let me know. I also am planning to do more What the Hell is Up with That videos, continue that series in the very near future. So if there's a card or perhaps even a relic that you can't quite exactly wrap your mind around, let me know in the comments and I can prepare that for the very near future. As always, have a great day. Please leave a comment, share, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching Ruckus Gaming.